was saying something that I remembered now. Let me put this music. So I was remembering that as kids, I don't know, as kids, for me, someone like me now that wants to make an impact, that wants to, like, I want to leave my mark on this world, not just in my community. Like, I really want to do shit. I want to put myself out there. I want to be known. I want my name to mean something. Yeah, cool. So then I started thinking about, like, because of the life I'm leading now, it's like a very quiet life. I'm just in my lane trying to do my thing, trying to make it out trenches, which is cool. So then I started thinking about, like, I think someone made a reference to somebody that I used to know, like when I was younger, and it was like, oh, now cool. This person is an adult doing their thing, and they're probably just like at the other side of the earth, looking like, oh, maybe yesterday I was looking at her socials and stuff. So maybe not at the other side of the earth, but wherever they are, she's like invisible to me. Like, she doesn't exist in my reality. She's literally non-existent in my reality, and that was just interesting to see that somebody that you kind of like grew up with, like not even somebody, a lot of people that you kind of like grew up with, that you knew like growing up, like people you met from school, church, your environment, like you guys would go separate ways to like almost all rounds of the earth, and um like you guys would probably never even, like, for some people your realities will never even intertwine again, where they might be like at the other side, they've gotten married, they've now settled down trying to raise a family, and repeat the same cycle that their parents did, which is give birth to kids. Now those kids grow up, they meet their own people, like basically just like they are at somewhere, they are like somewhere in the earth trying to repeat a cycle. Or maybe they don't even get married, maybe they go and do whatever they want to do, but they are still repeating their cycle. So they say, according to me, that if as a human you truly want to stand out and do your thing, like, how are you sure your thing is not just like, what somebody has? It's not now, are you sure? It seems like almost everything that you can do to stand out is what somebody is, just like an option. It's like, okay, bam, this is how I'm going to go. Like, this is already someone else's script. This is a script that a lot of people around the world, like, it's not even they don't choose to play it, fallen into they've fallen into playing it already. So basically this is just like a already pre-made script, and it's just like choosing your life to follow along with that script, irrespective of how unique you want to be, that, oh, I'm just going to get married, I'm going to go by my rules, whatever. But your rules are still someone else's rules. They are like someone else is actually living that script. You guys might even be numb to each other's reality or something, but it is still someone else's script. So, anyways, it kind of occurs to me how hard it is to, like I think I started to think about, like, what was the point of this whole thing? A whole group of species coming together to repeat the same cycle over and over again, which is go through, like, for right now the way it is like maybe go through some educational system, or maybe not even go through educational system. You give birth, you then get to a point that you do the same thing, which is you, even if you don't even want to like give birth yourself, you can go through surrogacy, whatever means, bro. Like, you just take on like being a parent, and now you have people that you're looking out for, which is, or it could also be kids that you're looking out for. And it just it's like bust my brain that you really cannot stand out. Like, you really cannot. Obviously, in terms of making an impact, I mean, like, obviously, I can try to do like 1,000 things to make an impact. I could even succeed at a lot of them. That's not a big deal. But at the end of the day, it's just like, what is the point of, like, because of, okay, no, okay, this is the way I was thinking about it. Because of, like, obviously the kind of impact, like, I'm not even sure, but let's say I want to make an impact, or let me just say famous, where everybody knows me for a good reason, which is whatever impact that I am making, or whatever impact I made. I was thinking about, like, let me say, for similar interests that I have at this moment, like, let me say if I was in tech, and I found out a company like Paystack, and the founders got out of, like, when they sold the company, they had like 200 million, 300, like, I think 200 million and 100 million or something. That basically their net was skyrocketed to that range. And I was thinking that, okay, let me say I was the founder of Paystack, and I built this whole company, and now I sold it, and now I have like a lot of money, and everybody knows me. Even if I use my money to like do some charity here and there, okay, like, what is the point regardless? Now I'm back to my life. I'm living some sort of Like, let me even say I'm trying to be chill, I'm trying to be loud, whatever. But it feels like I'm living a script. Like, I was trying to picture what the previous or the co-founder, like the ex, I don't know if they're still working there, but I was trying to picture what this guy life is going to be like, because he was talking about like how he just has like a lot of cash, or how when he got his like big payout, he just put like a lot of cash in the bank, and we didn't really kind of like splurge on real estate or investment kind of shit. So I was trying to think like what's the day life is going to be like. I'm going to be like, okay, cool. You wake up every day and you can fly out to whatever country you want to fly out to. Basically, you are anywhere in the world that you want to be. All right, cool. Then you'll probably have a girlfriend or whatnot, and you probably have like basically like you're still doing the same thing that everybody at like your level and maybe even below or above, I don't know, would do. So where does it get interesting? Like, where does it really get like, okay, cool. I'm this guy, I'm this dope guy, and okay, let me say I'm building like new tools or new products, and those tools or products end up going ahead to change the world. But cool, okay, because still, where does it really get interesting? Because for me, I feel like I would want to get that kind of crazy success. Cool. Now I have in terms of like monetary success, where I don't have to bother about like I never have to do anything again because of I need to like I want to make money. It's just like okay, cool. I'm settled for life. I'm chill, but for the rest of my life, now I can do what I want. Yeah, cool. Now I'm doing whatever I want, and everything is like okay. But where does it like how do I, bro? I don't even know. Where does it really get like? Where does it really? Where does standing out really come in? Like now, obviously, you can't really go to crazy lengths to stand out because one thing that I realized is like let me say the person that you want to become, the image in your mind that you see yourself becoming is something that someone else has lived. So let me explain this way. So when it's like let me say somebody has low self-esteem, according to like because in comparison you're like okay you have a lower self-esteem. I'm sorry, it's not even in comparison. Like the way you feel about yourself, like inside, you don't have like a lot of confidence and all that. Cool. But when you begin to develop, like, when you begin to come out of that shell, that okay, because when you kind of like have low self esteem, you're very inclusive, you're very keep to yourself kind of person. But when you start to come out of that shell, like, you start to, um, what's it called? When you start to come out of that shell, you start to become, let me say, more confident. You don't care as much again as like what people say and what they think and all that kind of stuff. You begin to realize that this is actually pretty much normal. Like because of for you, it's like you have undergone this very interesting journey and you have grown because of you need to grow as a person for you to overcome that. Your mind has to like there has to be some mental work to involved. So you yourself as a person, you have undergone this long growth process, and now you are now becoming more confident. You're realizing that okay, cool. I'm a better version than I was yesterday. Like which is all good and cool, yeah. But then when you begin to now relate to people, you realize that okay, cool, like this thing that I was striving so hard to achieve, which is like let me say more confidence or something, is actually pretty normal. It's like almost everybody. In fact, you realize that a large percentage of people are like, oh, and why am I even? Is it like confidence or like because okay, let me just put it this way. One of the attributes with low esteem people is that they don't like to talk, don't like to give opinions and stuff. So using these key attributes, when you begin to come out of that shell, you realize that like this is actually normal. So it's just like you strived so hard to become like everyone else. Does that make sense? So all this your growth journey or whatever, even though it affected the way you feel, it's still like you did all this to become like everyone else. I don't know if everyone feels that way, if nobody thinks about it, you have thinking about it. But then you did all this just to become like everyone else. So then I'm like, you're supposed to become better, but you're just becoming like everyone else. So in the case scenario of like these people too, let me say, okay, now I now have like a bunch of cash sitting down and I want to do whatever I want to do. Like, where does me actually like where do my that crazy thing that is very unique to me, where does it come in? Because of irrespective of how hard you try, it's like every single thing you do is like as an inspiration of someone else, indirectly or directly. Like, oh, I want to fly a plane because I saw someone flying a plane. And it's like, oh, I want to go to space because someone else went to space. or it's like, oh, I want to build this too because people need, like, it is just so weird. I'm like, okay, cool. If this is the point that all of us are meant to be the same in a way, like all of us are meant to, okay, let me not say the same, like there's a bunch of options and we all have to pick wherever we fall into, consciously or unconsciously at some point in time. Cool. Is that the point of like existence? Is that the point of everything? For everybody to just come and pick up their options, pa, 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 and boom. And at the end of the day, they just kind of like die and they go. And even though it seems like for some people it's like, okay, you made a lot of impact. For some people, nobody really even knows you, and you might have lived the most fulfilled life, the most fulfilled life rather. So you, like, let me say you got a good job, you were very comfortable, you got a family, you took care of your family, you took care of like everybody around you, yada yada yada. You were a good person to a lot of people, but like somebody might not even know you beyond your community, yeah. Or they might, even if they even knew you, like they might not even remember you as much. You might not be like the active memory for them to even pay attention to you. So even if you pass, they might not even know. But it's just kind of like crazy that is this like what like real life is meant to be like, just a bunch of human species um just recreating a cycle over and over again, over and over again. Which is actually the cycle of life here, the cycle of living. But this cycle of life just involves repetition, 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 from person to person, repetition, from person to person, repetition. And even in our age, somebody might want to be like, oh, they are like a couple of people that kind of like stand out. Like, let me say the person that first did like the e-commerce thing, the first person that found the internet. But they just recreated someone else's script too, and they just went like a little bit further as a thing. Then okay, let me say, okay, if the point of view is like for us to recruit and keep on like going forward in a way, like why is it that a large number of people do not contribute to that growth? Which is like, okay, let me say my regular life is just like, even though it seems like they contributed, it doesn't seem like they contributed. Like just come, you wake up, you do your thing, like you basically live your like your regular mundane life, and if you're successful, you're successful, but nobody really kind of like there's just like some part of your work that doesn't contribute to like the overall growth. Then what is like the point of your life? This is because I'm not thinking just like about me, because it's never like an existential crisis. It's just like, what is the point of your like? Why can't we? Because it's like they always say that, oh, you're special and all that kind of shit. But if you're looking at data, like, bro, if you're looking at data, you're just like another speck in the ocean and beyond that drop of water in the ocean. Or maybe multiple waters, I mean multiple drops of water make the ocean, but still, I'm just like, how special can, like, would anybody even notice if they take out one drop? Which nobody would really notice. But what was the, okay, I'm just going to stop because, anyways, bye bye.